It's funny. It seems hell freezes over quite a lot here on this channel. So this is the Shark Navigator NV27, also known as the Navigator Swivel. So this guy's kind of a right place, right time story. I'd been looking for one of these for a while. I like them because they're the most updated navigator that actually has multi-cyclonic cassette in the top, like the old one. So they've got better filtration on them. You don't have to clean the filters as often. Now, I was either eyeing the green or the emerald. They have separate model numbers, but the pictures they have online look identical. What happened is I was just browsing by chance one day on Amazon, and this one, which is the green, was out of stock. But its price was, I think, only $81. They normally tend to hover around $120 to $150, just depending on the time. And so I figured, I'll wait on it. May as well get it and see. And I've actually been pretty pleasantly surprised. Now, it's pretty similar, almost identical to the original Navigator, the NV22 that I have. So I think they are kind of overhyped. I think they always have been. They're not the best bare floor cleaner, and they're not the best groomer or deep cleaner on carpeting. But they do work, and they pretty much have one of, if not the best, cyclone systems, period, in most, out of basically any modern machine. Just because they're simple to access, clean out, and replace. I mean, you can take that out and wash it if you want to, no problem. I've done it for years on mine. But overall, it does look pretty much like your typical Navigator, and it works just about the same. So if you're someone who had an old Navigator that died, and you're looking for something similar, and you're maybe not too much a fan of the newer Shark products, or the amount of filter cleaning they need with their single cyclone setup, and this is probably perfect for you. You get a little bit of a feature advantage in terms of having the swivel neck, so it's a little bit more maneuverable than the original Navigator. This one also seems to be a little bit quieter than my Navigator. I'm not sure if that's just because of age, wear, and use on the old Navigator, or if they actually tried to quiet this guy down. But basically everything else is the same. You've got the crevice tool and dusting upholstery tool that they give with them, along with the wand. Same setup hose. This machine actually came with the Navigator Pet Pack bag, where you get the turbo nozzle. It wasn't advertised as having it, but it did come with it. It's pretty cheaply built, and they don't generally tend to last all that long from what I've seen, but it's free, and the machine was cheap, so I can't complain. Otherwise, same 3-position switch. I mean, literally just about everything other than the color and the swivel is identical to the original Navigator. Uses the same hose, uses the same tools, even uses the same filters, so, which also means there is no HEPA filtration on this model. Although from how little the cyclones let through, I don't think that's much of a worry. So we'll give this guy a little spin here, and you can listen to what it sounds like and how it performs. So, like I said, it definitely, to me at least, seems much less harsh than the original Navigator I had. And despite these carpets being cleaned just yesterday by this machine, it did get a little bit of dirt and cat hair already. Now, like I said, if you liked your old Navigator and it's either just aging poorly or needs a lot of replacement parts like the lower hose that isn't available, which actually just started tearing through on my original Navigator, this is probably a good upgrade for you. Again, it's not the best deep cleaner, not the best bare floor cleaner. It's kind of strictly average all across the board, but where it does excel is keeping the filters startlingly clean. And the one thing I will point out, I haven't used this all that much, but if you see the black, that's actually not dust. I use this to clean out the Honeywell air purifier that we have back there, and from what I can tell, that's actually a carbon dust that came off of the carbon pre-filter that I vacuum off. Otherwise, it really hasn't gotten dirty filter-wise, which is pretty amazing because one or two uses in the Navigator DLX lift-away that I have, normally I'm at the point where I want to wash the filters on it because so much has made it through to the filters. This guy is incredible in terms of being able to keep filters clean and maintain suction for the long haul. Now, the bad thing is you also run into the same parts availability problems as, well, any other Shark and the normal Navigators. Meaning, all that's really available for this guy is belts through third parties, certain body parts like the canister and canister cyclone assembly, far too expensively through Shark themselves. You can get a third-party suction hose, but that lower hose, which is what tears on the old Navigators that tore on mine and tears on these too, is actually molded into a plastic holder that's molded into the body. There's no real good way to fix that. One theory I'm testing, and I'll actually grab it really quick. Please excuse the darkness. There's the old abused blue NV27 from Walmart. If you go online, this is about the best and cheapest solution that I've seen. There's a guy on eBay that's selling hoses supposedly to fit these on eBay, and he's selling them for, I think, around about 15 bucks. What those hoses look to be is this. It's an EnviroCare part. Its EnviroCare part is H102. It's meant to fit the new non-powered lift-away Navigators, which I believe are like part number or model number NV350 and 353, something along those lines. Now, these hose ends are threaded. So in theory, and I haven't really given it much trial yet, you should be able to take the hose end that clips in off this guy, remove a broken hose end from the plastic holder that it goes into, and then rethread this in. If you feel so inclined, you can put a bit of adhesive to hold it in there, and you should be good to go. These guys can be found online pretty inexpensively, I think under like 10 bucks or less, depending on who you look at. I'll try and find some and put them in the description, and I'll also put the link for this guy, which is now I think about $130 on Amazon, in the description. Like I said, overall it's not the best machine out there, but if you want a still decently performing machine that isn't going to have a ton of filter maintenance as far as bagless machines go, this is probably one of your best bets. The only thing I can think that keeps filters cleaner are Dysons, but with how cheaply built most of the Dysons are anymore, how expensive their parts are, and how much of a nightmare that cyclone system is down the road, I think this is probably most people's better bet. Not to mention it's light, it's compact, maneuverable, and nice to work with, which is not something I can say about most Dysons. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would have to say I'd wait until this guy is around $100 or, $80 like I found it for before you buy. I think that's a great value for them. They're still not bad at around $120 and $130, but you definitely can pay less if you have the patience and the time to wait.